Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. And for those of you watching from around the world, whether you celebrate this holiday or not, I'm so glad you're here with me today. Since my audience is global, let me briefly explain. Thanksgiving is a national holiday here in the United States where families and friends gather for a meal and take time to reflect on the blessings in their lives. It's not a religious celebration. It's simply a cultural day set aside for gratitude. But if you've ever been one of Jehovah's Witnesses, you know that this was one of the many holidays we were forbidden to participate in, not because it was wrong to be thankful, but because the organization attached layers of rules, fears, and restrictions to even the simplest expressions of joy. Most importantly, I feel, the organization intentionally pulled us away from our families and loved ones, viewing them as a danger to the conditioning that they were trying to preserve. But now that we're free, this day carries a whole new meaning. Growing up inside the organization, we weren't just skipping a turkey dinner. We were missing out on belonging, shared moments, and the simple joy of pausing to give thanks. Gratitude for us was always tied to performance, field ministry, meeting attendance, organizational loyalty. It was never about resting in God's goodness. But God never called us to live in that kind of exhausting works-based pressure. The Bible tells us that real rest, spiritual rest, comes from trusting in Christ, not from endless effort. I absolutely love this verse in Hebrews, the context being when God rested from creation. It says, "For he that is entered into his rest, he also has ceased from his own works as God did from his." And then it invites us to step into that rest. Let us labor, therefore, to enter into that rest, lest any man fall after the same example of unbelief. In other words, we don't have to labor or strive to earn God's approval anymore. Instead, we are to labor to rest in what Christ has already done. In everything give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you. So not only is gratitude encouraged, it's part of God's will for us, and it has nothing to do with man-made rules. For many former Jehovah's Witnesses, Thanksgiving can feel very emotional. Some of us still face shunning, like myself, going on 40 years now. I know, incredible. Some celebrate with new families we've chosen. Some are tasting this freedom for the first time. But every one of us has a reason to give thanks, because God brought us out of bondage and into truth, into peace and a relationship with Him. So today we get to enjoy what once was forbidden. We get to celebrate without fear. No guilt, no judgment. We get to look back and say, God, thank you for never abandoning me, even when others did. So wherever you are, whether you're enjoying a full table, a simple meal, or even a quiet day on your own, I pray you feel the freedom, the joy, the gratitude that only God can give. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. We're free, and that alone is worth celebrating. Thank you so much for being so brave and so strong to step out on a limb and watch videos such as this from those who have conquered the burdensome constraints of being a Jehovah's Witness. I thank you so much for watching, friends. I hope you have a wonderful day.